Okay. Awesome. Let's see if we can see me here. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I had to make sure that it was working on my phone and I could see some comments. Okay, so this is a very impromptu. I had to make sure that it was working on my phone and I could see some comments. Hi, Jesse. So, a very impromptu Facebook Live. Normally, I come on here Wednesdays at 8:30 and give you guys some free readings, but I'm not doing that this morning. What I want to do is I want to share about a course that I'm doing that a lot of people don't know that I'm doing it, and I think it is one of the more powerful classes that you could take. So what I want to share with you, and this is actually leading up into my new book. So my new book that I'm working on is about the mediumship world and teaching how to be a medium. Hi, Sherry. How to incorporate psychic abilities into that. What it means to be a medium. That's sort of the idea of the book, and I still don't have a title yet, so maybe you guys can help me out with that title. But I'm excited about writing my second book. It's been about 4 years, I think, since Unearth Your Intuition came out. And so here's the deal. So this upcoming class that I'm teaching starting next Thursday nights, if you're interested in becoming a medium, this class is for you. So it is for all levels. It is for beginners, advanced, mediums, get it? Where you're in between the worlds, you haven't studied any mediumship. It's for all levels because it's designed that way because the way I work is I work with spirit. So through spirit will bring me the people that I'm meant to work with, and spirit is the one that sort of guides all of my classes. So if you ever see me work, or if you ever see me do a class or been a part of my classes, you'll know that I'm very spirit-led. I don't usually have an agenda, or I don't usually have like a manual for you guys, except for Reiki, of course. But just to give you an idea of how I work. So I work with spirit 100%. Sometimes if I'm like, I think we need to incorporate this game, and then we'll do that. So more with mediumship. Mediumship is the study of the spirit world. So it allows you, for those who are called to do it, to learn how to communicate effectively with the spirit realm. So when someone's loved one in spirit, someone's loved one passes over and they go to the spirit realm, which is what I call the spirit realm, and then I call the psychic realm the psychic realm. So there's about 2 realms for training purposes. There's a psychic realm and then there's the mediumship realm. So psychic realm is where I get all of my predictions, right? Where I get all the psychic information that comes from the psychic realm. And then there's the spirit world realm, where your loved ones in spirit, where their consciousness exists. Okay, these are very close together, which is why I personally started with psychic development and then I went to mediumship. But you don't have to have psychic abilities in order to be a medium. In the mediumship world, you do need to have a little bit of psychic information in there, but if you're psychic, you don't need to study mediumship. Okay, so mediumship is the focus. Mediumship is the training and the ability to connect effectively and clearly with those who have crossed over to the other side. Now, hi everybody, hi Rosie, what I like to explain it as is if you are an only English speaking person, and then all of a sudden you meet some people from another land who only speak Spanish, and you only know like one word, like hola, that's all you know. When I go to Costa Rica, I only know hola, that's all I say. And then, or pura vida. But when you're communicating with the spirit world, you have to learn a whole other language, which is why it is more difficult, in my opinion, in my experience, to learn how to be a medium than it is to be psychic. Okay? Because there's a lot of things you need to learn and understand and experience for yourself in order to become a medium, and to understand that those who've crossed over, those in the spirit realm, do not really speak English. They do, but they don't. So it's not like I'm communicating with you. Say I'm talking to Sherry. Hi Sherry, how are you today? She's great. I'm fine. My name is Sherry. I like candy and horses. And I'm like, oh, that's nice to know. That's how you communicate in the human world, okay? But when you're connecting, and there's a lot of procedures you need to learn before you can actually safely do that, you have to learn their language, okay? So they do not communicate like Sherry does. How are you? Nice to meet you. I like candy and horses. Oh, you do actually like that. See, I'm psychic. You have to be very patient because you're learning a new language, and Spirit also needs to learn how to communicate with you because every single medium communicates differently. Okay? And we can get into the clairs. So clairaudience is clear hearing, where I hear the songs in my head. Clairvoyance is where I'm seeing things as a visual and I have to translate the movie I'm seeing in my head. All these different abilities that you have to narrow down and hone in on which type of senses, what senses are you using to navigate this whole other world you've never experienced before. Hi, Jane. So if you use it, hi, Michelle, if you use it like, okay, I only speak English, now I have to meet a whole bunch of these beautiful new souls who only speak Spanish. And there's going to be a translation barrier. There's going to be a language barrier there, which is totally normal. So part of your training as a medium is that you need to understand how to translate Spanish to English. And unfortunately, we don't get Google Translate in the spirit world. Okay? There's no Google Translate in the spirit world. We have to do that effectively on our own through training with classes and a mentor, and then after that on our own through our own practice readings. This is how we do this. So it takes time. So a lot of students that I get who are medium newbies like, oh, I want to be, doing what Jen's doing. I want to be as good as Thomas John, or I want to be, these things. Being a medium takes years because there's so much information that you have to uncover. There's so much, and I can teach you the basics. I'm going to teach you how to meditate. Why do you need to meditate if you want to be a medium? You have to meditate if you want to become a medium because you will not be able to tune in. Okay? Some people can naturally talk to spirit and be like, oh, hey, there's Joe. Joe's there. And they've had no training at all. But if you want to pursue your gift, which some of you feel very called to pursuing this gift of mediumship, what you need to do is you need to get quiet. Because if you think about it, if you're running around all day, it's really hard to be like, okay, what did Jen say I have to do? Oh yeah, so I think there's a man here, and you won't recognize the presentation. So Spirit has to provide this presentation for you of who they are, how they passed, who they were as a person, their personality, names of people, who they are to you, their relationship, all of these memories, and they have to share that with you, but in Spanish. And you only speak English. I don't mean literally Spanish. I mean like a whole other language, which is where you come in and you learn what your dictionary is. So you might have heard there's a spiritual dictionary that studying mediums and practicing mediums have to learn how they communicate with spirit and how spirit communicates with them. Okay? So it sounds really tricky and it sounds a little bit overwhelming, but I promise you, if you're called to be a medium, that it will be something that you're willing to work on, that you're willing to learn about, okay? I'll take a break and show you my new mug, because you guys know I collect mugs, number 1. Number 2, you guys know I love cats. Number 3, I thought this looked like me. So this is like the back view of Jen, and then there's the culmination of all her cats. So there's that. So there's that. You have to learn how spirit is talking to you. You have to learn a whole new language. You need to meditate. So if you're ever going to be a medium, whether you're going to take my class right now or you're going to take in the future, what I want you to really consider before you commit to that is commitment. Like, are you committed? So when I decided I was going to take my very first mediumship class, like way 6 years ago, I really wanted to do this. And it was almost like there was like a magnet pulling me towards the teacher and pulling me towards this class. And I didn't understand why I was being drawn to the mediumship class. I'm like, I'm not a medium. I'm a kindergarten teacher and I have kids to take care of and I can barely take care of myself, but I feel this massive pull to take this class. And I didn't understand why. And then even when I got to the class, because it was in person, and when I got there, I didn't even know why I was there. I'm like, why am I here? And sitting there going, so nervous, having no idea what I'm doing. Teacher hands us a clipboard with all these questions on it, like, male or female, elderly or young, memories, like gifts, hobbies. And I'm like, what are we doing here? It's almost like we had to interview. I'm like, are we interviewing the dead people? What are we doing here? And she taught us how to tune in. And we go in and we ask spirit questions, just like if we had someone who was still in the physical shoes coming to our house, and we would talk to them, ask them questions. What are your interests? What's your name? Who are you? What are you all about? who do you belong to? All of these questions we would ask them in the human world, and these are the things we need to ask them in the spirit world. Yes. Keep being told every day to meditate. Don't do it enough. I know. Okay. So Trish, because we have worked together in the past, my suggestion is what I'm noticing with meditation is that for some of us who are being trained as mediums, or we're practicing mediums or whatever, we're being called to upgrade, to up level our meditation practice. So not to freak out the people who are new, as long as you're meditating every day, and I suggest Insight Timer. So to go download Insight Timer app on your phone. It's a meditation app. It's really important that you have something concrete to start your meditation practice. So you're not like, I don't know how to meditate. This will help you do that. Okay. But for the people like Trish who are students and who are practicing and wanting to be a medium, there's almost like an up level that's being invited for us to enhance our meditation skills, and we need to get to be a different consciousness. So I'll explain that. So here we are on this plane. If you want to call it 3-dimensional, 4th-dimensional, 5th-dimensional, this is where we are right now. Okay. The spirit realm is like 1 or 2 realms above us. Okay, just technical above us, not really, it's hard to explain. But so our consciousness is here, spirit's consciousness is here. There's a gap there. You see that gap? Just like Spanish, English, right? New language, you got to build that barrier. But for the spirit realm, it's like this. So what a medium has to do, as a medium has to raise her consciousness here, and spirit has to lower their consciousness and get into our level so that we meet in the middle, so that we are able to hear or see or feel or know what they are trying to tell us. To hear that, to translate the Spanish to English. Okay? So we're being called to incorporate breath work, because breath work is a very important tool, so that it's easier for us to clear all this gunk out, because a lot of medium students don't trust what they're getting. Okay, you wouldn't trust. Am I saying the right Spanish word? You're probably not going to believe you're saying the right Spanish word, right? Until you practice and learn until the teacher says, "Hey, that's really good what you're doing. You did the right word. Ta-da! You're great." Okay, so we need to raise our consciousness and clear out the gunk. Okay, so we got to clear out the gunk. Breath work gets us into our body and opens this up really, really wide, and you start feeling fuzzy and light and free and all these awesome things. And that allows like the little window or the line of communication from our crown chakra to the spirit world to get stronger. Hi, Tracy. Tracy, you're getting more signs from me. This is your sign, Tracy. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Do you see there's like a lot of things that we need to do? So that was for Trish too. We have to add some breath work in there to get our consciousness higher, to be able to hear it, to be clearer, all that good stuff. You can still be a medium, and you still just do regular meditation as long as you're getting quiet every single day, because what you're also doing is showing up for yourself, but you're also making a commitment to show up for spirit. Okay? So as soon as you decide you're going to be a medium and you start meditating and you sign up for a class and you sit in meditation and you close your eyes for the very first time, what happens is there is a bat signal that comes out the top of your crown. And the whole spirit realm is like, oh yeah, new medium, woohoo. Okay? And you're signaling, you're committing to this journey. Okay? It's a very important journey. And it's not one to be taken lightly either, because when you're a medium, you become very responsible. Because you're not only responsible for your own energetic protection and your own safety, you're also responsible for being very respectful in the spirit realm and communicating with them, right? You don't want to come invite someone to your house and then you slam the door in their face when you're done talking to them, right? Okay, that was a great conversation. Bye, get out. Rudely, right? So same with the spirit world. When you invite spirit in, you have to treat it as a very honorable, respectful thing that you're able to do, and communicate with spirit and be very mindful of what you're saying and how you're speaking to them, and thank you and appreciation and all these things. Okay? So like I could go on all day. Like this is what you're going to learn in my mediumship class that starts next Thursday night. This is what you're going to learn. And that being said, there's only 8 weeks. Do you think 8 weeks is long enough to learn all of this stuff that I've said to you? And I've only skimmed the surface. You're going to learn what happens when you die. That can be a scary thing for some people. Hi, Janet. You're going to learn what happens when people die. Spirit is going to show you what happens when you cross over. Like, what a gift that is, right? And then in the future, when you've taken enough training and you feel confident and ready, then you're able to tell your clients, you know what? Your mom just passed. She's okay. Your cat just passed. Janet's cat just passed, Olivia. Your cat is okay. Because you experience this otherworldly activity. It's not of this world. And so when you experience things that you can't see and you're getting evidence and validation from this Spanish English that you're translating at the same time, and you're seeing a vision at the same time, and you're hearing a song at the same time, and you're talking to a client, and you're talking to spirit, and you're making sure that you're okay and your boundaries are set, like, it's a lot. But like, it's one of the most rewarding things you will ever do. Hands down. That, and plus you could work from home. And you could quit your teaching job and just be a medium on a full-time basis. So that's great too. And drink tea whenever you want. Yeah. So, I mean, there's obviously more layers to this. Plus you also will meet. No, anyone can be a medium. I was not a medium. I was normal mom. Hey, let's go talk to dead people. I was a kindergarten teacher. I had no business being in a mediumship class, okay? I had no idea what I was doing there. All I know is I needed to be there. That's all you need. All you need is a call from spirit to be there. You have to be called by spirit to feel that feeling of, oh my gosh, I really think I really want to do this. That's spirit bringing you to the teacher, whether that's me or someone else. Okay? Has to be a call. It's got to be a call. You have to be pulled. This is something that I really want to do. You're all gifted. Everyone is gifted. The thing is, if you don't think you're gifted, you've just forgotten your gifts. Now, don't go around telling everyone I read for, hey, you have the gift. Hey, you have the gift. Not everybody is ready to dive into that. Because also part of learning mediumship also is a self-study. You're going to self-study. You're going to soul study. You're going to study your soul. You're going to question your beliefs that you've had for like 40 years. Because that's what mediumship is. Mediumship is not just talking to dead people. There's so much involved, and there's so much amazingness involved in that, and there's so much healing that you receive as well, and also the healing that you can provide for a potential client when you start to do your own readings. It's right. And here's the thing, you might be surprised at this, my students won't be surprised at this, but I always tell people to first learn from a local person. So learn from someone that you know in the area who's a medium, been a medium for like maybe 5 to 6 years. Start there. Okay? Get confident. Get a little bit like, I think I'm pretty good at this. And then after you do that, I want you to go and take a class with the Arthur Findlay School in the UK, or someone like James Van Praagh. So I have been trained first. I did that first. So I went to a local class, and it was the best foundation I ever could have done. So that's where I started. Get your footing, get your confidence there. And then when you're ready, go and learn from, so I've learned from Chris Drew, who is a UK medium from the Arthur Findlay School. I've learned from Lynn Probart, who is very well known. I haven't learned from Tony Stockwell yet, but that's on my list. I learned from Thomas John, celebrity medium, and now I'm going to be studying with James Van Praagh. So the life of a medium never ends either. You always have to be developing and honing your skill, because like I said, it takes years of training to be so at the caliber that the mediums from my teachers that they're at. So I'll tell you a little funny story is that I thought it's pretty good. So I did some training over the past 5-6 years. I've learned a couple of teachers. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go take a class with the Arthur Findlay School. So I've done shows. I've done events. I've done fundraisers. I've done videos. I've done psychic radio. I've done a whole bunch of things. Again, my confidence is pretty good. Then I took the class with Chris Drew and Lynn Probart. And then you get to witness other mediums and where they're at. And then you kind of go, oh, I thought I was pretty good. And you still are a good medium. I'm still a pretty good medium. But then you see a whole other level of training that you can receive And there's so much more to learn. You have to learn how to present it and give evidence. And there's so many things that I can't cover in an 8-week class, but I'm telling you, this is where you start. Okay? You don't have to have the gift. You just have to have a willingness to meditate. You have to have a pull and a desire to help other people and wanting to explore the unknown. Okay? You got to be all in. Because if you're half-assing it, don't come to my class. You got to be all in. You got to be full in. You got to be all in. Okay? I have set the intention that Spirit is only going to bring me those who are hell yes, and those who are I am an energetic match to. Because if someone comes to my class and they're forced or like they feel like they should do it, or I have to convince them of something, it's not going to work out for you. So this has to be a very easy flow. It's ease and flow, ease and flow, ease and flow, and that's how I work. Okay? So that being said, class starts next Thursday. Okay? Next Thursday from 6 to 8 on Zoom. Okay? There are 6 spots left. I have 5 filled right now. And if you are called to this video and you are excited about learning to be a medium, I invite you to send me a message. I'm going to put the link in the comments here when I'm done. And I want to say thank you so much for watching this. I don't usually do this, but Spirit's like, get on there and talk about mediumship. There's somebody I know who really wants to join. They're just on the fence yet. So if you're on the fence, it's a no. Okay? Unless something about this video made you change your mind, great. If it didn't, don't do it. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. I love all of you guys, and I'll see you soon doing more readings for you, probably Wednesday.